Coming up on high school game night, it's the first week of section play. Find out which of our local teams could get an important win tonight.
Plus, Garden Spot playing Donegal tonight. Many thought that this game might be the one that decides the eventual Section 3 winner. Find out if the Spartans could beat the Indians for the second year in a row. High school game night starts right now.
One, two, three. Ford makes the catch.
Wow, look at that.
Cody Kafer towing the sideline.
We're pumped and ready to go here on high school game night. As always, I'm Chad Landers.
And I'm Brian Cash. Chad, week 4 already, but now the fun starts, of course. Section play begins this week.
Every team with hopes of winning a section title, and in Section 2, it looks like it's going to be a two-horse race yet again between Manheim Central and Cocalico.
Yeah, Central has talked a lot about improving that defense from last year, and all that hard work seems to have paid off a little bit. Top-ranked defensive unit in the league thus far. Their offense ranked 3rd as well. Not too shabby, boys. Tonight, the Barons hosting the Elizabethtown Bears into Eldon Rettu Stadium. No score in the first, but you can't hold the Barons down for long. Colin Fry slings it to a wide-open Andrew Seiberling for a 48-yard strike, make it 7-zip early on. Then in a 7-7 game, it's Fry doing it with his legs. QB keeper to the right side, not going to bring him down. It's 14-7. Barons. And we talk a lot, of course, about that improved Central defense. But here's an example. Noah Diffenbach picks off E-Town QB Tyler Cottle, and all he smells is that end zone, bobbing and weaving through the defense. That's a pick 6 and increases that Barons lead. Later, Ian Hanston will put an exclamation point on the game, handoff up the gut, and he just bursts through to that second level. 38-yard score. All Barons in this one. They win it 55-7 as those gaudy offensive numbers just continue to pile up.
All right, Brian, let's talk a little about the defending Section 2 champs, Cocalico.
Yeah, Chad, as impressive as Central has looked so far, Cocalico has looked just as dangerous.
Yeah, they've racked up 152 points in just the first 3 games, and we're on the field against a struggling Conestoga Valley tonight. Now, the Buckskins 0-3 to start the season under new head coach Mark Peters, and things didn't start too well. Cocalico QB Jet Janis with a nice play fake, fakes out our camera guy there, Brian.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, there's Janis knifing through the defense. Into the end zone he goes, puts the Eagles up 7-0 early. Buckskins trying something, make something happen here with freshman quarterback Grant Stoltz was looking downfield. Nice alert play there by David Vargas for the completion. But Cocalico's offense just could not be stopped. This time it's Janis again on the keeper, cutting through the middle of the Buckskin defense, and he'll dive into the end zone for his second TD of the game. Running back Spencer Moser would add another score from close range not much later in the game as Cocalico puts a slew of points on the scoreboard. They win huge tonight, 52-6, and the Eagles are looking strong at 4-0, while the Buckskins stay winless at 0-4.
But don't go anywhere. After the break, we've got that monster matchup between Garden Spot and Donegal for control of Section 3.
And another dramatic finish between the Warwick Warriors and Cedar Crest. Find out if Warwick can earn win number 3 of the season. We'll be right back.
High school game night is brought to you by JD's Pazzo Pizza in Ephrata.
And welcome back to the high school game night. Let's kick things off with the Garden Spot Spartans, who have a 13-game regular season winning streak, Brian.
Huge game tonight, and pretty impressive stuff from Garden Spot. They have that game against Donegal tonight. Many think Donegal could be the #1 challenger to the Spot for that Section 3 title this year. Garden Spot, the #1 offense in the entire LL League, but it was their defense put to the test tonight. Opening drive of the game, Indians moved the ball all the way down the field. Jared Smith finds some running room and scores from 13 yards out. Donegal takes the quick 7-0 lead.
And then Spartans will go on offense. Mitch Martin rolling to his right, firing it downfield, but he's picked off by the Indians. They return it to set up good field possession and just won a couple turnovers for the Spartans in the first half here. Brian.
Donegal up 14-0 now and marching in for another score. Indians QB Sean Ness rolls to his left, looking in the end zone, but Corey Montoro for the Garden Spot Spartans snags the ball out of the air. Huge play, turns the momentum around.
Oh, that it did. Garden Spot's offense responds into the red zone with 20 seconds until halftime. Martin again rolling right, and this time he'll find Troy Schaub in the back of the end zone. That's a touchdown for the Spartans, and it cuts into the lead 14-7. Garden Spot still trails, but in the second half, Garden Spot just unable to muster any comeback, and they suffer their first regular season loss in 14 games. Donegal takes that grudge match 28-7.
Just a wild result there. But moving to Section 1 now, the Warwick Warriors have won 2 games in a row, rebounding well after a Week 1 setback to Manheim Central. Their offense, with a ton of talented skill players, has been starting to get on a roll. In a Section 1 action, the Warriors hitting the road at the Cedar Crest Falcons. Warwick signal caller Matt Pennypacker continues to impress thus far. Check out the senior rifle one downfield for Austin Myers. 43-yard pickup. Pennypacker would plunge it in from 1 yard out to bring the Warriors within 5 points. And after Warwick gives up a safety, they start another drive on 4th and 4. Pennypacker finds Anthony Faggio for the first down, keeps the drive alive, and it leads to this. David Weaver from 4 yards out. He will go into the promised land. Ties the game at 19 apiece. That is all the offense Warwick could muster. The Falcons win 32-19, denying the Warriors that first Section 1 victory.
Oh, tough loss there. Our final game of the night, the Ephrata Mountaineers traveling to Lebanon to take on a suddenly hot and dangerous Cedars team. Now, the Mounts have been decimated by injuries, the latest one to senior Bobby Nye. But remember, the Mounts did beat Lebanon last season. And this game tonight turned out to be absolutely crazy. Lebanon taking over on their own 2-yard line, but no problem for quarterback Mark Piles. He hits Nicholas Negron out wide, who is off to the races. Look at him go, 98 yards for the TD.
Zoom.
Lebanon leads 14-0. Ephrata would fight back in this one, knocking on the door to give to R.J. Barrett, and he pounds it in from 2 yards out. Ephrata gets on the scoreboard, down 14-7. And then on Lebanon's next possession, Piles trying to respond here, but he's picked off by Ethan Sipe, who returns it all the way to the house for a 75-yard touchdown. Ephrata in business as they tie the game at 14-all. Just an offensive explosion from both teams tonight, but it's Lebanon coming out on top just barely, 44-42.
So close.
The Cedars now have a 3-game winning streak. Who thought we would have been saying that, Brian?
Who knows, Chad, those Cedars. Well, our highlights might be through, but do not go anywhere. We've got every score from every game in the LL League coming up, plus our Play of the Week selections that you, the fans, can vote on. All that's coming up right after the break. Stick around.
High school game night is brought to you by Jamie's Pazzo Pizza in Ephrata.
And welcome back to the post-game show. Time to go around the LL League and check in with some of the teams that were in action tonight. Let's start in Section 1, where there's a huge showdown between unbeaten Penn Manor and once beaten Hempfield. Penn Manor keeps rolling. They win it 34-20. Also in Section 1 tonight, 0-3 Lancaster Catholic looking to pick up their first win against Manheim Township. They needed 2 overtime periods to do it, but Catholic wins in dramatic fashion, 31-28.
Just incredible. And what is probably one of the most lopsided games in Section 1 this year, Wilson traveling to my alma mater, McCaskey, to take on the Red Tornado. Wilson gets win number 500 in program history, 45-7, Chad. I know you're happy.
Yeah, at least McCaskey will be known for something this
That's
season.
right.
All right, well, we've already covered all of the Section 2 games tonight, so we'll move on to Section 3. Anvil Cleona taking on Northern Lebanon. And Northern Lebanon gets their first win of the season, 33-26. Pequea Valley looking to stay undefeated against Elko, but the Raiders trounce Pequea Valley 55-36.
And oh, Chad, the Crimson Tide of Columbia. You know they're one of my favorites in a non-league tilt against First Catholic tonight, but Columbia just can't pull it out. They lose 33-25.
Yeah, but Brian, even in those losses, they have looked
played
impressive.
tough.
And starting to impress me, Brian, finally the lone game left to play this weekend is Lampeter Strasburg at Solanco. LS got their first win last week against Redline, and Solanco is still chasing their first victory. That game scheduled to kick off at noon on Saturday. So those were the scores, but how about our potential plays of the week? First up, how about an airstrike from Manheim Central's Colin Fry to Andrew Seiberling, 48 yards to the end zone in the game tonight.
Pretty good, but next up it's Coach Calico's Jet Janis. Seems like he is a top play every week, knifing through the defense here for another touchdown and diving into the end zone.
And our last nominee effort is Ethan Sight, picking off Lebanon QB Mark Piles, and he takes it all the way back to the house. Call that a 75-yard touchdown. And to vote for your favorite play, just go to our blog, news11sports.com. We'll have the plays along with a poll posted around midnight, and we'll announce the winner next Friday.
And do not forget, we've got more live high school football on BRC 11 next Friday night in high definition, a Section 1 throwdown. The Manheim Township Blue Streaks at the Warwick Warriors. Find out if the Warriors can get that first Section 1 win of the year. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock.
All right, Brian, that wraps up our week 3 coverage. What jumped out at you this week?
A lot of close games, that double overtime game, but the Mounts, Chad, so close to picking up that first win, but it has to wait for another week. 2 points.
Yeah, so close. Lancaster Catholic, a double overtime victory.
Apparently Township threw an interception, the Catholic picked off in double OT, and then Catholic kicked a field goal. Crazy stuff, and they get their first win.
Wow. All right, well, week 4 in the books for our high school game night crew. I'm Chad Landers.
And I'm Brian Cass. We'll see you next week.